Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome back to another week of the Whole Soul Podcast. I am honestly feeling very exhausted today, but that is actually what gets me into the theme and the topic of this episode, which is that your body always knows before your mind does. And I think this is such a good to your bodily intuition and the sense of following your intuition and really leaning into that more, especially as a woman, because in the society we live in today and the way that mostly all of us have been brought up is to not trust our intuition and instead put our faith in powers that be outside of ourselves, whether that's your parents, family members, teachers, celebrities, influencers, anybody outside of yourself. We've become so accustomed to putting our faith and trust in everybody but ourselves as women. So, this podcast episode, my intention with it is to really allow it to click in your head that your intuition is literally your most powerful source of discernment and the tool that allows you to create a life of alignment, meaning creating beautiful habits and choices that support your health, your well being, and your vitality. Consciously choosing relationships in your life that actually uplift you and inspire you to grow. Choosing a career that actually you enjoy doing, something that you enjoy or that you're passionate about, even to the nitty gritty things. I mean, this is actually a pretty big thing, but choosing a location to live, choosing the home that you live in, really paying attention to the details of the colors, of the scents, of the airflow in your home, all of that really matters. So, trusting and following your intuition is a critical life skill that literally makes or breaks your joy, your happiness, your health, your vitality, how much you actually enjoy your life. Because the thing is that we all have intuition. You felt it before, like that little whisper within your heart and soul and your body that is telling you no. So, a concept that I actually touched on last week is witness consciousness. And you can think of it of these waves. If you're watching the video right now on YouTube, you can watch my hand. If you're on Spotify, just think of waves, right? The top of the wave can be represented as attraction, whereas the bottom of the wave can be represented as aversion. So, witness consciousness is essentially this concept that helps you discern within yourself when you are feeling an attraction to something, anything in life, or an aversion, or if you're feeling neutral. And tapping into this awareness within yourself really helps you make clearer, more confident, aligned decisions in your every single day life, because when you're aware of how you feel within yourself about anything, you have greater ability to make decisions that are actually in alignment with who you are right now, with your desires, with your values, with your morals and your principles. So witness consciousness is actually a tool of awareness that helps you connect deeper to your intuition and just helps you become more aware of what it is that you are drawn to versus what you are pulled away from or aversed in this life. So it's a beautiful thing that we actually learned deeper in yoga teacher training. And it's a concept that I've been aware of for quite some time, but having this visual representation of the waves, of the top being attraction, the bottom being aversion, was really helpful for me. And in terms of your body knowing before your mind logically does, I just want you to maybe close your eyes. If you're driving, please don't close your eyes, but really take a moment to tune in and maybe think of a life situation or circumstance where you just feel so drained and exhausted and tired of whatever it is that you're doing. It could be a job, it could be a habit, it could be a place, it could be a person or a relationship. Think about that one thing that you felt so drained by and it honestly made you unhappy with your life. Those are moments that are really important to tune into because our minds can do really interesting things of convincing us that we're fine or we're being over dramatic or it's not a big deal when your body is actually screaming and asking for you to take a step back and like listen to it, because we live in a world where everything is happening so fast. There's phones, social media, we have lives to tend to, careers to tend to that provide us an income and food to put on the table. So our minds are constantly overactive to a point where there's no space really that is encouraged to give ourselves to sink into our body and really feel what it is we're actually feeling and what is right for us, if that thing that we're doing or if the life that we're living is actually in alignment with us. So I just want you to check in right now, and maybe there's a circumstance or a situation in your life right now, or maybe it's something that you've been through where you can notice that maybe everything was seemingly falling apart, like things weren't working out. Maybe you got sick, or maybe you were experiencing some sort of health symptoms. There's a lot of ways in which our bodies communicate to us when something is out of alignment. And for my case, for example, when I was in college playing Division 1 volleyball, going to a private school, it was cool. I mean, it's what my ego wanted, and although volleyball was my dream, when I actually got there and experienced life on campus, I started slowly dying month after month, and it took me about 6 to 7 months to decide that I was leaving the school or that I wasn't going to continue. But there were symptoms and there were signs in so many different ways that came up, and I'll actually share them with you. But one of the biggest ones was crazy fatigue and just being so exhausted and tired all the time. Health problems, gut issues, indigestion. I started getting sick constantly with sinus infections and just had headaches so consistently to a point where I had a really hard time going to class. And if I did, I had a really hard time paying attention to what was actually going on, making it really hard to absorb information, which was really hard for me at the time because I was also in the honors program. So on top of school and being in this honorary program that had extra work and assignments and tasks, there was also volleyball. Another sign and symptom was just feeling so drained and not really inspired by the people that I was surrounded with. And I probably wouldn't be able to tell you that directly at the time because things were fine and I was having fun and I did vibe with people, but my soul was longing for depth, like craving depth. Like I didn't understand at the time what it was, but there was this longing for something that wasn't present in my life, yet I didn't know how to name it. But being in the place that I am now, I was longing connection, like deep connection. I was longing a life where I could feel regulated and not stressed and doing something that was forced. But all of this to say is that I was living this life that I thought I wanted. My ego wanted all of these things, and it was checking off all the boxes of like, all right, you are in the highest level of education. Check. You are in the highest level of volleyball. Check. You are at a really good school and living in one of the best dorms. Check. But everything else on a subjective level of feeling in my body was absolutely crumbling, and my body was telling me that. Like, it was screaming. After months of, things kind of building up, there was a breaking point of like, okay, I can't ignore my body and I can't convince myself that I'm okay because everything is just seemingly starting to crumble. So that was an awakening for me. And I think that you can use this story to relate to your own life or even in the lives of others that you see, because it's true that when we are in a misaligned life circumstance and we're doing something that's not filling us up, that is not really serving us anymore, signs and symptoms will start to build up. And the longer you wait and ignore your body, the more your body will start to scream and stop you in all of these different ways, like health problems or fatigue or misaligned relationships or outbursts of anger and emotion or just dissatisfaction with yourself. And sometimes it really does take time for us to realize that we're not in alignment. It's things that build up over time that lead us to feel a certain type of way of just not feeling happy or aligned or just feeling ill with the life that we're living. I cannot remind you enough, and also as a reminder for myself, I'm saying this, how deeply, deeply, deeply intelligent your body is, your soma is, beyond the comprehension of your mind. I mean, if you think about it, all of your organs work without your mind having to do anything. It just goes. Your heart beats from the moment you are formed in your mother's womb to the moment that you die, and you don't have to think about it a single time. Your breath, it just naturally comes in and out of you. Even when you are stressed and not thinking about it, you are still breathing. But intentional breath is a really beautiful tool to regulate and just come back to center, to come back into presence. There are so many complex systems within our body that keep us alive and going and healthy every single day that we don't have to think about. So, just a reminder for you that your body is so intelligent in ways that your mind cannot comprehend. So, the more you can lean into that remembrance that your body's intuition is literally guiding you to where you are supposed to be because of the symptoms or the signs it gives you that you are either out of alignment or in alignment, is such a beautiful gift and tool and awareness that will help you in every single area of your life to live a more vital, well, and alive life. I want to share too that your journey into your body and reclaiming your intuition is a non-linear journey of ups and downs, where in one season of your life you might feel so connected and like life is full of magic and you just feel so at home in your body. And there will be other times in your life where you feel like you're going through a crisis of confusion and there's chaos, and you might not even know what your intuition is telling you. You just might feel confused. All of that is okay. It's normal. It's a part of the process of life. So please, if you're going through that right now where you might not know what your intuition is telling you, like what your body is telling you, or where you are being guided, please be gentle with yourself. Even that in itself is medicine. And the cicada agrees because he just started chirping right above me. But really, even on my own journey, coming back into my body and my intuition the last few years, it's been such a non-linear journey. And I'm noticing within myself that it's a process of remembering and then forgetting. Remembering and then forgetting. But it's this continuous upward spiral over the course of time. And if you really look back and reflect, when you start living in alignment with your body and your intuition and your heart, and you could say God's will because it is one and the same thing, you will look back at your life either right now or one day and see how much your intuition has actually guided you to where you are right now, which is exactly where you're supposed to be. And I'm saying that from a place of literally a few years ago, dreaming of being in Costa Rica, dreaming of living a life that I love, that I've created, living in this state of empowerment and self love and leadership, and having a podcast, creating content, and having a community of women creating beautiful, life changing, transformative offerings is something that I couldn't even have like fathomed for myself, but it was just a dream. And here I am living it. And of course, there's always going to be things that you're going to want from your current place of being, but also please just recognize where you are, how far you've already come, and the more you can lean into your intuition and listen to the signs of your body, the more whole you will feel and the closer you will be guided to the path that you are meant to be on, the path of least resistance, the path of fulfillment and joy, whatever that is and whatever that looks like for you, because we all have such unique different paths and walks of life, and you literally cannot compare yourself to anybody else. Again, reminder for myself, because comparison is the thief of joy, and it comes up. It comes up, you know? I think for everybody at some point, especially if you are spiraling or going into a little bit of a dark place, comparison will come up. But let this be a reminder that you are exactly where you're meant to be. Your path is so unique. You have your own divine, unique magic that your body will reveal to you when you begin to tune in to your intuition, when you begin to sit with yourself and actually regulate your nervous system to create safety, because the answers are within you. What you are seeking for outside of yourself is actually within you. So the deeper relationship you can create with your body, your soma, the more your intuition and awareness and consciousness will come online and also expand. I'm also so curious to know if this landed for you, if this resonated with you in any way. If it did, you can leave a comment on the podcast. You can also send me a direct message on Instagram at claudia.isabella. I'll actually link my Instagrams below. And to support this podcast, it would mean the world to me if you could leave a rating on Spotify, or if you're listening on YouTube, to just like and subscribe. And last but not least, if you resonated with this and you are seeking for a community of authentic, like-minded women who are on this path of self-discovery and inner growth, authentic connection, and really stepping into and embodying a higher frequency of being, then join the Whole Soul Collective. It is such an amazing community and space. We have the most epic women inside, and the work we do in there every single week is so beautiful. It's so healing to just have a safe space to just share your truth, to be authentic, and to also have other amazing women that hold the space with you, for you, and all together. So I will link that in the bio. I would love for you to join. And yeah, thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for you always. And I'm so excited to see you next week.